Some officials say counties should take more extreme measures in battling the coronavirus, including reimposing strict shelter-in-place orders. State Senator Steve Glazer, who represents part of Contra Costa County, is joining us live now via Zoom. Senator, thanks for your time. You say counties with a positive test rate higher than 2% should require people to stay at home. And right now, as a state in California, we're over 7%. So that would be kind of like rewinding everything back to March. Why do you think this is necessary?
Well, Larry, despite our best efforts, we have lost control of the coronavirus fight. Our infections are up dramatically in the last 4 weeks. Hospitalizations are up, deaths are up, and it's an acknowledgement that despite the best efforts of all of you and our state leaders, that the steps we have taken aren't sufficient. And if we're going to get control of this virus and get our economy back, get kids in school, we have to take the tough medicine to do that. And that means a stronger shelter in place that's going to be very difficult for so many. But this virus moves from people. And if we shut down that movement, we can flatten the curve, which we haven't been able to do yet.
What are you hearing from your constituents when you raise this as an issue? Because I can imagine the last thing people want to do is go back to shutting everything back down.
Well, the last thing many of my constituents don't want to do is to have remote learning for their children and have their businesses be shuttered. And so many have lost their jobs. So they are willing to take the tough medicine if it can work. And I think that's really what we're dealing with. We have a cancer in our body. You can't solve it by putting a Band-Aid on a pinky finger. You have to take the chemo. You have to take the tough medicine. It didn't work before. We opened too soon. And the question is, have we learned from that, where we can close down more effectively and stamp this virus out so we can get our normal life back together again sooner rather than later?
Yeah, you touched on businesses. I want to go there because, ironically, your critics in the past have said you favor business too much. But we have so many businesses that are really hurting. They're on the verge of closing for good. Don't you think another full shutdown would be absolutely devastating, just crippling for so many small business owners in particular?
Well, I am very supportive of our small business people. The investments, their dreams put right out there, and they're in a difficult spot. But what I say to them is, listen, we need to get your business back sooner. And the way to do that is to kill this virus. That our public health and the economy are connected. We're handcuffed together. So if we want our economy to come back, we got to take care of the public health crisis. We have to kill this virus. And right now, we've been managing the spikes, but it's still at a high level. It's setting records this week, actually. And we can't hope away this problem. It's not going to work. We have to take tough medicine, and that's what I tell my friends in the business community.
All right, so let's talk about tough medicine. What's your position regarding mask enforcement? And in some communities, they're talking about levying fines anywhere from $100 to $400 for people who are not wearing masks in public. Do you favor that?
I do favor it. Listen, the reason that we're even talking about it, shelter in place, is because a lot of the tools in the toolbox aren't working. And there's leakage, there's infection spread, and that only happens because of person-to-person contact. A failure to wear a mask, a failure to stay in your social bubble, staying at home unless necessary. So that is contributing. Most people are doing things right. Most people are respecting the rules. And for those who are not and are creating this crisis that we continue to be in, we have to take tough steps. And so I do support enforcement. It has to go along with rules, and you got to have enforcement of those rules.
All right, we'll leave it there. State Senator Steve Glazer, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.